back with another reading. As you can see from the title, are you expecting a child? So are you in a panic mood expecting a child, whether you're pregnant, your partner is pregnant, or you're expecting a child by adoption or whatever a way, like someone's pregnant or anything like that. But and if you're panicking and you want to know what to do from now, what is there for you, what's important for you, because you could watch a billion of YouTube videos and you just think like this is what you need, this is what you need. There's different things, different personality, different culture, different budget, and you're gonna see what things is for you and what's important for you and what you need and what you don't. So yeah, remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment if you want to. If you want a personal reading, you can email me. My email is down in the description. If you want to be a member of my channel, click the link down in the description, so join my channel. I have 2 playlists for members. Check them on my channel page. The daily pick a card readings, they're all titled daily pick a card reading, but when you click on each daily, you're gonna see in the description I've done a lot of pick a card that day, requests from members, and also to like readings that I've done to read the energy and what they need. And the members only videos, there's a normal pick a card reading and there's a detailed reading, which is a topic, and there's a lot of pick a card related in that topic. And also there's the third reading, which is speaking about like a cause, prediction of a cause or why this thing happened in the universe or whatever the thing is. And I have a lot of readings. I have a podcast also on my channel, so check that, about spirituality and all of that. And I have tarot lessons as well. So let's start this reading. So before you choose, I want to sip my coffee. Number 1 here. So you're expecting a child, or what to do in your case. I do feel like in your case it could be someone who got children already. For some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, either got children or you have someone who got children around you. But I do feel like a spirit telling you to get used things, whether it's like things from like, do not buy new things if you have if you have children, you have things from your older children, like cribs and all of that. There's things here, not everything of course, like you're still gonna buy new things, but get the things, the old stuff from those people, or from old, from your children, or from people in your family. Like you could have people in family who got things that they don't use or they're not gonna use. You could ask them for that, and you could, if you're like shy to ask them to just give it to you, you could ask them to sell it for you, and they could sell it to you like with a I know they're not gonna mind selling it for you, like they're gonna sell it to you, I mean, with a lower price, or so you could use it. So why, like they probably used it only for like a month or two, if they got something, and then they have stuff, they could have stuff, or you could have used stuff from like whatever store. You could find good used stuff, per se. You could find good used stuff. So maybe you're on a budget. If you're not on a budget, there's like used stuff, per se. Like you don't need all of that. You don't need all of that. So maybe you're going really big and wild here, but you don't need all of that. So I do feel like here in your case, you could have money issues, or you could be like on a tight thing here, because you could really need that money for something else. Like if you don't have money issues, you're gonna need that money for later, right? For something else here. I do feel like don't buy a lot of things. I do feel like you really need to save money. There's a lot of warnings here about spending money, overspending. So definitely get used stuff. You could get like few items for the kid, like clothes and all of that. Try to get things that they were recommended, like recommended, like you could watch a YouTube video and where you think like it's like the best quality thing, instead of buying a lot of things, like people are reviewing this item or this product. I do feel like products that you need. There's a lot of products that you might put money for products, and you might really find it very hard when you have a child. You're maintaining those things, like maintaining like shampoos, care, milk, bottles, and those things that could be very expensive. So we're saying save that money for later. You're gonna need it for food and other things and products, right? So I'm seeing that for some of you also cooking and all of that, you could really need something here to save money. Like if you could like put things on, like what do you call it, we don't have it here, like basically, but I know like in Europe or other cultures they have it, like you call it registry or something, like for a baby shower, like to put things and request here. Is like it's not nice to request things from people, but they would bring to you. But if you could do that. You could request things, like things that you're going to use and reuse. For example, you could invest in and things to make food for your baby, and like machines that you can, those zippers that you can close, and you can make reusable things, like, and you can make your own baby food or whatever thing is here. Also reusable diapers. So you might have money thing issues. Maybe you're gonna find yourself in, money is tight, you don't have diapers. What are you gonna do this month? You cannot buy diapers. You're going to have to use the reusable diapers. Yeah, like think about like the things that you're going to need if money was low, right? Let me just increase the volume of or yeah, of volume I call it. I don't know what's wrong with me, but lately my English is just, I don't know. Maybe because I've been speaking German lately, or French. Ugh. But yeah, it was hot. I could not focus. Even though I'm close, it seems like I'm close to the camera because the my voice seems like it's here. I was far. Anyway, number one, I do feel like, yeah, invest in things that you're gonna need for later on in money wise, right? So think wisely. Think wisely of like, if this thing, am I going to be able to buy this product all the time? My God, what do I need? Like, think about like budget friendly things. Maybe watch videos. I do feel like a lot of videos you need to watch, actually a lot of YouTube videos here, and knowledge is needed. So other thing here, I don't feel like you're knowledgeable. You are not a knowledgeable person. Do not panic. I'm sensing you panicking, so do not panic. You are not a knowledgeable person about like what you need for your baby, like how to take care of your baby. So I do feel like you need to watch a lot of videos on how to take care of your baby, because you could do mistakes that can really hurt your baby in a health wise. Like there's things that when you watch those videos, you're gonna know that you cannot leave your baby there in my choke, or you cannot lay them down like not straight, and safety issues like safety things and safety things like that, or other things like you have to watch videos, right? This is something very important here. Let's see what else. In your case, the hospital is not important. Whatever the hospital is not important. So you could not have the budget for it, so you cannot be picky with hospitals. You cannot be picky. Just like a public hospital or whatever hospital is near you is the ideal one for you right now, right? um for some of you, if you have a huge financial difficulty, you could ask charity help here. For some of you, you could go and say like you're expecting a child, or like donation or something like that. Do not feel like ashamed for it at all. Could you just go and ask for donations or for help or government help, or if you can seek government help for that, and do your best with that. Thank you for watching, number one, and good luck for you. Number two, expecting a child, what should you do? um oh, number two, you could already have a child. I don't know if you're clicking here and you're not expecting a child, you're just clicking here while you have a child. If you're not expecting a child, why are you clicking here, right? But for others of you, you are expecting a child. Like, educate yourself. Educate yourself. Education is first. Like, first is education. Educate yourself how to have a child, what children need, because I don't feel like you're going to be knowing what you're doing. Even if you're going to have your child, I feel like you're going to be totally lost, and you might do a lot of mistakes if you're not knowledgeable of like things to do and you must do for a toddler, for example. What a toddler should eat, what tests they should do, and how they should be, like, games, mental games, what should they speak and what should they learn. If you're not really understanding those things, you're not going to know what you're doing. It seems like, look out with the screen like a shut, and you're always going to be in the energy. So do not think like you have an ego and you're like, yeah, I'm a great mother, I'm a great parent, I'm a great father, I'm gonna have this kid and I'm just like feeding my kid and putting my kids to sleep and my kids is perfect. Like, no, there's more things to do. Seems like you're not really understanding the work that you need to do. So there's a lot of things that you should do for that child other than just feeding the child and putting a child to bed. So investing in games, investing in education, investing in things like that, buying things for the children, like buying things for your child right now is really important, because even if they're like 4 month old, learning things. So buying things to learn, buying things for the child to learn, and for you as well, to make this experience very knowledgeable. You don't know what to cook for your child, watching videos on like what food should I cook, what nutritious food that I could cook for a child, what to feed a child, what to do. You need to be knowledgeable, because this time going to go really fast. So if you're going to have your child, after a few months you're going to feed that child, right? You need to know every single thing, and you need to know the health things and how to take care of your child. You need to be knowledgeable of your child care. If your child got, like, for example, different hair color than you, different hair texture, um, you need to know what you should do with that child. Like, it feels like your child going to not, they're going to have either frustration, anger issues, or issues. See, the screen is off, like they cannot really figure out how to communicate to you or how to express themselves due to the lack of education at your part. Like, your child is not having anything to do, like you just feed your child and put your child there. Like, you really need to educate yourself. It seems like you live in a, I don't know, cave or what exactly. I'm sorry for that, but I'm telling you something that you should be worried of, because if you're not worried of, this gonna cause a lot of issues in the future, right? Thank you. Number 2. Number 3. You have a child, or you're expecting a child. For some of you already had a child, so congratulations. And you're like, oh, I had the child, I just had the child, and 2 weeks like old, and I'm still like, what I do. For others of you, are gonna have your child soon, so congratulations. Or you're 2 weeks pregnant only, or 2 months pregnant only, or something. But let's see here, or someone is pregnant or expecting that child on adoption. And if some of you are expecting to adopt a child, then maybe you chose different vows. Congratulations. So yeah, that's a good, honorable thing to do. So let's see here. Honestly, number 3, I do feel like you are very hard on yourself with the hard play, because you are ready. You could be very ready and over ready, like over ready, like you bought more things than you need. You're doing more than you really need, like, which is great. I do feel like you're great. You're doing great, but you're very critical and you're scared here and you're freaking yourself. First thing I want you to do is take a breath. Even if you did not buy all those things that you want, I do feel like you're on the right track. You've done great, so congratulations. Like, every video that you watch, everything that you research is good so far. So I do feel like everything is good, but I'm going to not leave you to go out of this video without giving you like a few advices and tips from Spirit on like what to do exactly. I do feel like you are prepared for what you should do right now is focus on your health and your diet, or diet and health in general. If you're someone who's not pregnant, focus on that person who's pregnant, health and diet. They might be not focused on their diet a lot or health, and they might be going through mental stress, or you could be going through mental stress. If you're going to adopt a child, this child could be going through mental stress, and they might be really having a different diet than yours, and they might really require different care, something about that. So focus on that. Focus on like how to get them out to eat, or how to make them really open up for you, right? I do feel like when it comes to diet and nutrition or health, they need to really be like more like taken into hospital or something like that if you're going to adopt a child. And if you're not going to adopt a child and this is your own, like, it feels like with the milk and everything, I do feel like maybe this is the thing that you did not focus on. There's the only thing they did not focus on, like, you maybe you know how to feed your child and everything, but you didn't give it like a big attention. Like, focus on those things, like, like feeding bottles, what kind of bottle that you need, or like those aspects and those things maybe you didn't really pay much attention, or what milk formula milk that you're gonna have, maybe you didn't think much of it. You need to think much of it, because there's better things, and there's things are really not good, and you're not gonna like them. So you could have different formulas or things like that, or research formulas or feed-in things or stuff like that, okay? Um, Other than that, you're killing it. Thank you for watching number 3. Number 4, expecting a child. Number 4, stress. You could be the one who's expecting a child, it could be your partner, but stress is not healthy for you. You're going through stress, or you causing your partner to go through a lot of emotional stress with fighting or with arguments and things like that, or this partner of yours going through a lot of stress that is not healthy for the child. If you're someone who's going to adopt a child, it also it's the same. You are going through a lot of mental stress, and this is not healthy for you. It's not a healthy environment for the child if you're going to bring the child to the house. I do feel like there's a lot of fighting, a lot of chaos, a lot of things that are just very messy when it comes to the household and to your emotion. So maybe cut the emotion, cut the fighting, try to solve a lot of issues before the child comes. So try to make the house more stable, and the relationship between you and other people more stable in the family. If you feel like your partner and you have a very stable relationship, I do feel like you need to make it more, like you need to talk more about what you're gonna do when the child comes, because the life going to be different. You need to talk, really talk about like what you're going, what are your plans before fighting start, because you might be like not on the same page when it comes to the child. So you need to put things on the table, or you need to tell that person, because this person could be very stressed, and you're like, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, the child is not here, still not here, but this person really going through a lot of stress because they want to hear you saying those things, saying that you understand and you agree and all of those things. So they could be going through a lot of emotional stress, and especially if this person is pregnant, they having all the stress, look at their body feeling really heavy, and they feeling really heavy, and they feeling tired with the hormones and everything, right? So they're really going through a huge hurricane inside them. So I do feel like a stress. What should you do? I do feel like if you're not married to this person, you should get married to this person right away, because they could be going through stress and they might be not addressing the stress to you about marriage or something like that. If you're not really married, or you're not proposed to, or you're not really together, you should be together. If you're not together and you don't want to be together, and you're like, I don't like this person, you need to find a plan on how like you're going to be there for the baby. It could be this person is really stressed about that, you're like, I'm going to do my part no matter what. If we're together or not, I'm going to support the child, or something like that here. So I do feel like something here needs to happen. This person could be going through a lot of stress inside them, and they feel like, also someone here feels like they are taking everything alone, and they could be going through stress and they're not sharing. So if your partner is like this, you need to break this person's walls and come and talk to them about their fears. They could be not sharing their fears with you and what they are really wanting from you. They could be thinking like it's their own child, and this is like, it's not like they think it's their own child, it's like they have the mentality of solving the issues, or solving things alone, or figuring things alone, and they forget that you're there with them as well as a partner. And they think like, even if they are not the one who's pregnant, they think like, oh, I'm the dad or I'm the mother, I need to do everything, and they're thinking about like all everything, and they handling everything alone. And you need to really tell them that they should not, it seems like emotional stress, and needs to be fun, because this person is very stressed out, and they could be having anxiety and fears and issues that they're really not telling you about. And they could have trauma, whatever the trauma is, or whatever the thing with childbirth, or whatever the thing is, but it seems like you might be not knowing of that for some of you. So communication here to make it easier for this person, and to make the experience more enjoyable, and to make them focus on the, fun. So what should you do to expect a child here? I do feel like congratulations. First of all, I'm seeing like something about congratulation. I do feel like something about congratulation. So first of all, for saying congratulations, because you could have a really good partner to carry your child. So this partner could be really, really, really good in carrying your child. Like basically, this is a very good parent, or this is a very responsible person. This is a person who can do a lot of things, or they already prepared, they already know what they're gonna do, they're gonna have a child. This is a very independent, very futuristic person, and it could be very understandable because of the stress. They are very like someone who's like logical, they think too much, and they could be stressing themselves out. So you could not know the amount of stress that they have. But congratulations and things like that, for example, I'm seeing celebration needed. I do feel like you really need to take this person off from like being so like overwhelmed to being happy, and seeing how this experience is very joyful, because it is joyful, but this person could be thinking like in a panic way. They could be going through something here. So like basically celebrations, like uh Plan something with your family for this person, a baby shower, plan something for the baby, bring surprises, bring flowers, bring something, bring a gift for the baby, bring something to make them feel happy, look excited, look happy, and make them feel like you're there and you're done half the work. For some of you, it's not like this person is not relying on you. This person is not used to relying on others. So maybe someone who's very independent, and they kind of forget sometimes that it's okay for them to ask for help, or it's okay for them to say to ask from you. Like they just feel weird about asking for help, or when you're like the parents as well, right? So make them feel like they're like you're there. But I do feel like here's something about like I playground for the kids. They're gonna make them feel happy. So that's why I'm saying congratulations, because this person could be very well prepared, and they might already told you what they want, or you talked about it, and they're really like, maybe they were just like, they gave you a whole plan and you're like, wow, they figured out the nursery, what they need, everything. But there's something about a playroom, a playground. This person really find it very important for their children to play. So doing something like that, maybe surprise them with taking some ideas that they really want and bring in the idea. It could be something from their childhood that they talked about, right? Make it very like, oh my god, this is your childhood, this is something that you want your child gonna have. This person could have a very painful something here that happened to them with their parents, or they lost a parents, or they lost something, and they kind of very, this experience make them feel very overwhelmed, right? So something about being overwhelmed. Thank you for watching. Number 5, expecting a child. What should you do? What should you bring? You are not prepared at all, at all. So you're here. Well, you're here because you don't know, or you don't think, I don't feel like you know how much you're not prepared, but it's okay. We're gonna help you here today. You're not prepared at all. You think like you're a little bit prepared, but you're not prepared. So the first thing I feel here, that you know how to do things for children. You know of things. Like it's not, you're not clueless, but you're not prepared. It's like you do have an idea about like childbirth, or what you need, or children, or babies. You've been around babies and you have an idea of like things that you need, but you're not prepared at all. I do feel like you are. Listen, number 5, this is gonna sound weird, but you really need to ask someone for help. We don't have the time, sign. You don't have the time. Like, ask your parents to help you. If you don't have your parents, ask your best friend to help you right now. You really need the support from others. You need support from others. Like, you need them to hold your hand and tell you what to do right now, because you cannot figure out all of those things in a short period of time. Even if you could, you're not going to be able to do it alone, because if you're the one who's pregnant, you might get really in a, like, you know, you're gonna be heavy, you can't, or you just can't. Even if you're the one who's not pregnant, I feel like whatever, here we're talking about you and your limit right now. You can't, even if you know you can't do it alone, you can't. You have to ask someone. So you have to ask someone. If you don't have anyone, like if you go to a store and you buy things for kids, you have to ask. You have to tell them, I do not know. You have to go to the hospital, okay, like to your midwife or whoever, whatever you call her, tell her like, I do not know. You know, like you need to ask questions. You need to ask questions. You need to really ask the questions and let them explain it more to you, because you're not understanding it. So, because when it comes to safety, when it comes to children, you're clueless. So safety is really important here. Safety for a newborn, or if you're going to adopt a child, safety things are very important. Number 5, because when it comes to safety, you're clueless. You think like, oh, it's okay, nothing gonna happen, nothing gonna happen. Children can get hurt around you, okay? Let's just be real. Safety here is very important, okay? Let me repeat. Safety is very important. So look for things that baby can hurt themselves with, how to put things out of hand or reach. Safety, everything needs to be safe, and you need to ask about how to take care of a newborn, because I do feel like showering important, like how to shower a newborn, because you might do a lot of mistakes, and we don't want those mistakes, right? We don't want those mistakes. If you need to wipe your newborn in the first month, go ahead, because when it comes to you, what I saw, you're not good at it. You're not good at it. Educate yourself on what to feed your newborn, what you should not feed your newborn. I don't feel like you need to take it seriously, first of all. I don't feel like you take things seriously just because you're like, my grandma, whoever done this is like, nothing happened to us. Like, no, just because God protected you or protected that child doesn't mean that this child of yours cannot get dangerous, like cannot get hurt, right? Really, you need to ask medical advice. You need to ask people other than like you need to ask help, but you really need to not. There's certain people that you need to not ask their help for. So you could have like a mom. You could ask your in-law, like mom-in-law, something like that, mother-in-law, but not ask your mother. Someone here, like one family member from one side, is very dumb. And if you're gonna do their advice, you're not gonna have a healthy baby. Try to be focused on health and educate yourself, because whatever you've been taught is wrong. Thank you, number 5. Number 6, expecting a child. What should you do? Udim. Let me see. It looks sexy. Expecting a child, you're pregnant, looks sexy. You know? Buy clothes, go up, dress up, take pictures of your pregnant belly all the time. Like, take pictures. Even if you're not the one who's pregnant, you and your partner, this is what you need. You're not gonna regret it. You need to take pictures every week, okay, of the belly growing. You need to do everything. You need to paint on the belly. You need to print the belly. You need to do whatever with the belly, okay? You need to do a lot of things with belly, okay? You need to, have like some kind of business, talk to them and tell them like, when my baby is here, I want to send their like clothes to you and do a blanket, or like send their stuff and everything and put it like in a whatever, like like the pregnancy test and all of that. You need to do all of the shit, okay? You need to hire a photo shoot for your baby, firstborn baby. You need to do all shebang, okay? All shebangs percent, all shebang. But things that you need to do here is enjoy the experience, because you might forget to enjoy the experience. You need to enjoy it. You need to be happy. You need to be happy. Is like, enjoy this experience. Enjoy everything about it. If you want to vlog about it, vlog about it. Some of you should vlog it. You should really record the experience of everything, even if it's not for the internet, for yourself only, or for this child. You need to enjoy that experience. You need to make your house more beautiful. So something about decor. So invest in decor, little things. Print the baby name everywhere. Spend the time printing things. If you want to buy shit for your baby when they're like go to school, you find something for your baby when it's 5 and you're like, oh my god, lunchbox, buy it. Do whatever, be happy. Never saying be happy. You want to buy a mug for your baby, buy a mug for the baby, okay? Nobody's stopping you, percent. A bottle with their name on it, buy it. We want you to enjoy it, first of all. So what to do? Also, you need to ask your partner for help, okay? You need not to forget to include your partner. Not for help, but include your partner. You might be someone who's very independent, and sometimes you forget that this is your partner babies too. Like, remember that, okay? If you're so happy and so excited and you're like, this is my baby, oh my god, and you buy things and you forget to ask your partner if they like the nursery color, and you're like, it's not your problem. But you need to include your partner, even though they're not gonna have any issue with it, but make them feel happy with you, okay? Like, don't take all the happiness and suck it up, right? Don't suck all the air. So I do feel like you need to, if you are considering to buy a tent, per se, do not buy the tent. So do not buy the tent for your child or something like that. You're not gonna like it. You could buy a pet animal, have an animal, something like that, before you have your child, like a bird or a dog or whatever. If you feel like it's safe, not all of you. I do feel like a lot of like you could really plan things from now, because for some of you feel like you're already ready, like you got everything ready. You could plan things right now. I do feel like maybe you are overwhelmed by something, because I do feel like you're ready, like you're already prepared, but you are very stressed. Sometimes something comes and you only see black and white, and this is why I'm saying like whatever stress you, you need to tell your partner. You could have fears that you're like, I'm not gonna bring my fears. You could be like really scared sometime, or you're panicky and you're only taking the stress alone. You really need to address it to your partner, what makes you feel scared, because your partner gonna help you whether you're married to this person or not, right? So I do feel like planning a schedule for your baby from now is really going to be very helpful. Or you, this is what you need to do. Basically, like thinking of like what nursery your baby gonna go to, what kindergarten gonna go to, a preschool. Because I do feel like you could be in a country that is like, because here in Doha also it's the same. Like when they're 3 years old, they go to is it preschool or kindergarten? Preschool, the same thing, right? Like they go 3 years old, basically the same. It's in the school basically, but it's outside the school. It's different. It's kindergarten, and there's like a preschool. It's a kindergarten is preschool, and then there's this thing. I don't know what to call it, but 3 years old. So people, kids actually go to school and whenever they're 3 years old, right? So in other countries, so you could look for the schools that you want, because it's really important to secure a spot or something like that for your child, because time flies really fast. And you could really know the requirement of the school, because some schools have different requirements for your child, and you could start young, because some schools are going to be requiring, like for example here in my country again, we are bilingual, so there's schools are like bilingual, so your child gonna go through a bilingual test. So it's not only speaking their mother language, they're gonna ask mother language questions, they're gonna ask the other language questions for the child, even if they're young. They gonna ask colors and all of that. So you need to really prepare for the school if you're someone who's like, because I feel like you're so curious about education and all of that. So look for the schools and understand where you want your child to go. I don't feel like mental stress. I don't feel like sometimes you space out. Literally, you need to find a way to release this mental stress to enjoy it. And this is like you need to really talk to your partner or someone about the stress or your fears. You could go through a lot of fears, and the fears sometimes like make you feel like you cannot enjoy something. Like could be just panicky or stressed out sometime, and you really need, because I'm seeing like someone who's happy and then goes low all of a sudden, right? You really need to speak about your fears. Address your fears. Speak to your partner about your fears so they will help you, right? Because I feel like you're already ready when it comes to everything. You're ready with everything. Nothing more. You could fix a closet here. Try to organize a closet for the child, or buy more clothes for the child, like a newborn or something like that. You could do that. Um, I do feel like you're already, like, I cannot tell you something that you're not really, like you already done everything, you already know everything. I don't feel like anything here that you need. It's almost like if you're gonna do anything, it's just more of decor or buying things that are gonna make you feel comfortable. I do feel like think of comfort, okay? Think of comfort. But I do feel like you're seeing like mental comfort and comfort for yourself. But I do feel like you're already thinking about it. But it seems like you thought about everything except like your emotions right now, how to deal with those emotions right now, because everything is good and you're not going to be enjoying everything if you're not going to deal with your emotions. Thank you for watching number 6. Have a lovely day, my lovely people. Should I choose? I'm not pregnant. No? Plus person, I'm going to be pregnant soon. Ah. You know what? Like, I'm not going to choose because I have something that I'm going to choose for, and there's something that I choose for, something else. But basically, I'm number 6 for whenever I expect a child. This is very me, I know myself. I'm probably gonna be overwhelmed because of the amount of stress of the trauma that I have from my mom and all of that, especially going through an abusive family. And my mom really traumatized me with a lot of things. Basically, she left my little brother with me and told me like, if you're not gonna feed him, you're gonna die. And I was just 8 years old, and I had to, like, I have a lot of stress, and paranoia. So I think like this is the idea that's gonna be in my head. Like maybe I'm gonna be over anxious or over paranoid, you know, about safety and all of that. But you know, I'm gonna try to remember to talk to my partner because I'm very independent. But and the other one is like another thing. It's another idea, but I don't know if I should choose it or not. But this is the other one, and this one is very weird. But I'm thinking about adopting a child later on in the future. It's not because I cannot have children or anything, but I'm thinking like if I'm gonna have my child soon, I'm pregnant. If I'm gonna have my child and everything is good, I know myself, I'm very stable. If I could adopt a child, because it's always been a dream of mine to adopt a child. So I feel like when I saw this and I'm like, oh, I saw those are my bios. I'm like, wait, hold on, I'm maybe gonna adopt a child. I was like had this idea in the back of my mind, but I'm like, would I be able to really do it in the future? Because I take, you know, children very seriously. I'm not going to have just an extra child that I cannot really provide a future for. But this is really interesting. And when I saw this file and this file here, this seems like a now, right? A now energy if it's going to happen. And this seems like I know everything, but it could be like I don't know this child. If this child, like for example, 3 years old or something, or 2 years old, I know the country that I'm gonna go to because I'm a psychic. I already saw everything, right? So this child could have issues with the food or like, you know, like emotional things, like, you know, just being ready or language barriers or something. So I think like it's a really good reading to see everything here. So just focus on. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day, my lovely people.